It is absolutely beautiful on this end of November day here in the Midwest, and I would be remiss if I did not take advantage of this lovely weather to work on one of my mini project pieces. I just need to give it a little bit of touch of paint, sand it down, put a little stain on it, you know the drill. But today I'm actually going to use paint that I had been using for different projects, and I'm going to show you how it works. So first step always is to clean your surfaces. This one was really grimy, so I got some scrubbing done. From my other videos, you'll probably notice this is a new sander. So I have been previously using a corded sander that is older than I am, and this one is brand new. It's a Bosch, and it's of course cordless, and I think it's the 10 volt if I remember correctly. I'll double check on that, but I've been really impressed. I will say, if you're going to get one, have extra battery or batteries, because sanding takes a lot. So I did go through a few different batteries while working on this one project, because when you're sanding down to bare wood, it takes quite a long time versus if you're just scuff sanding, you're just trying to rough up the surface. And that's actually what I'm going to do on the bottom of this bench, and the top will be a new stained color. Also, I had a lot of scratches. There were just a lot of scrapes and scratches on the top that I just needed to smooth out. And this new sander was pretty fun, and I will say it's a lot quieter, which is kind of a safety thing for me when I'm working outside. I want to be able to kind of hear my surroundings. So it's a little quieter, and it actually doesn't shake my hand quite as bad. It seems like it's a little easier to control, which might mean that it's less powerful sanding, but it is a little more manageable for me and my not super strong grip and arms and such. But I really do like this sander. It's been really fun. So here you can see up close that I'm using a foam pad and the sandpaper, and honestly it took me a long time to realize that your sanding is really a big part of it is the quality of your paper. So spend the extra money, get the better sandpaper. It will actually probably end up being the same amount of money because you won't have to change the paper as often, and you'll get more done with one piece of paper. So that just makes sense, right? So here we are, down to mostly the bare wood grain, and I think it looks pretty good. So my first step, I had to decide, do I want to stain first or paint first? I don't know if there's a way that it should be done, but I decided I'm going to paint and then stain last. So wiping off all of the extra dust from sanding, and then I'm going to use my favorite primer, the Zinsser shellac base primer. I just ended up buying a gallon the last time I was at the store because I use this for so many of my projects, and it was expensive for a gallon, but I know I'm going to use it. So here I am. Oh, also, I lost my paintbrush. I don't know if you can see it in this video or not, but I had to find a smaller paintbrush, which worked out fine. But it took me a solid, the whole entire time I was painting to figure out that I had stuck it in my back pocket. So don't forget your paintbrush if you put it in your back pocket like me. So while I was waiting on the paint to dry outside, I had a little friend come by and actually pooped on the surface. So cleaning off bird poop was not on my list today of things I needed to do, but now it is. So here we are. Next step, I'm going to show you this beautiful cathedral colored paint from Heirloom Traditions, and I'm using a brush from Retique, which I have really enjoyed that brush, and I think this paint is supposed to be a 1 to 2 coat promise. I'm sure that just kind of depends on your surface, but I found that I did need 3 coats for this, and I know I was covering white and covering a light color with a dark color usually takes more paint, but I did really want to make it a perfect finish, and so I did need 3 coats of this paint, and this here is just, you can see the first coat, but the coverage is pretty good, I will say. So this is after the first coat. I wasn't extremely worried about the streaks in it. You can just see a lot of brush strokes, but all in all, for the first coat, it does a pretty good job. So here I'm applying coat number 2, and even after that one, I was like, I'm gonna need 1 more, and it was a small project, so it wasn't a ton more paint, but I did want that perfect finish, so I did use 3 coats. This was, I will say, it's just like the perfect thickness. Sometimes these paints like this, you need to water them down or spray your surface or something. But this one, I found it was just the perfect consistency to apply an even finish. And also, I realized that the paintbrush really helps. So don't be skimping on your paintbrushes. Get a nice paintbrush. You'll do yourself a favor. And these Retique ones are great. I use them for Retique paint, but now also this one. So I'm sure Heirloom Traditions has their own brushes, but this one did a pretty good job. So I am pretty happy with it. And this is an all-in-one paint, and I did not top coat. I know that is going to make some of you freak out or something, but I did not use a top coat. It is not required for the paint. Neither is a primer, but I did that anyway, of course, because it's me. As usual, I prefer the stain to have the polyurethane mixed with it. So this poly plus stain from Minwax or Varathane is one of my favorites. This was a new hack though. I have in the past used rags to apply. I think it's just better, easier for me than a paintbrush. But this time I had heard of using old socks. So I had been collecting old socks when they got holes in them, and I did wear a glove on the inside, a vinyl glove. So just to remind you what our bench looked like before and how it looks now. I did paint the inside white. It was already white, but I just kind of gave it a little cleaner of a finish. I think it just really adds some pizzazz. I really like that it's just a functional piece. I advertised that it could be used for a bar height table. It could be used for an entry bench. It could be used for that spot at the foot of your bed where you need a place to put all of those extra pillows. This would be perfect. And the fact that it has storage, you can put a few extra blankets in there or whatever you need. And it's just really functional. It's really pretty, very useful. And it was a good opportunity to try out some paint and to show you what I came up with. So as always, thank you for watching. Subscribe, like the the video. It really encourages me, and I'm so glad each of you are here. See you next time.